Craziness. That is the name for the NFL this season. This week, more insanity, but awesome insanity. 3 games down so far. So far, out of the 3 games, I got one wrong and two right. But I'm glad the one I got wrong is the one I got wrong. It was the Seahawks versus the Rams. My Seahawks pulled off a miraculous fourth quarter and overtime comeback with three 2-point conversions. And yes, the second one was legit. It was a backwards pass. Get a ruler, track the movement of the ball along with the line on the yard line. You can see that it's going backwards. The distance between the line and the ball is shrinking. If you don't think that's what's going on, get your fucking eyes checked. All right. Next, the Eagles, of course, they beat the Commanders. If you're saying you picked the Commanders to beat the Eagles, unless you're a Commanders fan, you're a damn liar. All right. Then the Chicago Bears hosted the Green Bay Packers. With Micah Parsons going down, as unfortunate as it is, I did pick the Bears to win because the last game was close. The Packers only won because of a pick six interception at the end of the game. Then, as you can see on the left here, right over here, for the Tampa Bay versus the Panthers game, I'm going with the Panthers because even though Tampa Bay might be the better team 60% of the time, at home, the Panthers are a great team. This year, I don't know what it is, but this year, the Panthers are at home. I don't think they lose. I don't know if they've lost a single home game yet. All right. Let's move on to the next, though. Buffalo Browns. Of course, the Bills are winning. Let's not even entertain that. Bengals go to Miami. Uh, I think the Dolphins are going to play their asses off at home. They don't have a shot at the playoffs anymore, but I think they want to finish at least 9-8 so they can feel respectable about their season. They're going to win. Then you got the Chargers going to Dallas to take on the Cowgirls. The Chargers are going to win. The Chargers have something to play for. The Cowboys are eliminated. Thank you. We don't have to hear the Cowboys fans anymore. They're done. They're freaking done. Woo-hoo! All right. Moving on. The Jets going to take on the Saints, and the Jets are just a little bit better than the Saints, I think. Not by much, but a little bit. So I do think the Saints will lose. I'm going with the Jets to win this one. Hold on, you're going to lose me for just a second here. And we're back. So then we have the Vikings taking on the New York Giants. Right up there. I'm going to go with the Vikings. They are the better team. They have a much better defense. Their offense isn't better, but they have a much better defense, so I think they get it done. They're going to move to 8-8, and they're also going to try to move to 9-8 for a respectable season. 8-9 isn't horrible, but most teams don't want to be 8-9 either. So there's that. Then you have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Titans. I'm going against the grain here. I think this is going to be an upset game. The Chiefs, no Mahomes, unfortunately. But without Mahomes, I think the Titans are feisty enough that they can get this W. So I'm picking the Titans to win. Then we got the Atlanta Falcons going into Arrowhead to take on the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are tired of losing. and they're not getting the top draft pick. So I think they might just want to play spoiler for a team or two. So I'm going to pick them to win over the Falcons because I do think they're slightly better. Slightly. It's very close, though. These two teams are very close to each other. Then Jacksonville taking on the Broncos. So the Broncos are on what, a 10-game win streak? ah, sorry about that. I'm still waking up. Um, but if the Broncos are to lose another game before the playoffs, I would say it's this one. But something in me says Jacksonville can't compete with a top 3 defense, so I'm gonna take the Broncos to win in a close match, low scoring, close game. Then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Detroit to take on the Lions. The Pittsburgh Steelers are mid as hell. They're the middest team of the middest teams. And the Lions are slightly above mid, I think. Not great, but slightly above mid. And I think they take the victory here. As you can see, I got it selected right there. The Lions win. Then the Vegas Raiders taking on the Texans. I don't have to say anything here. This one's obvious. Of course, the Texans are going to stomp them. Then you got the Patriots going to take on the Baltimore Ravens. This is the interesting game. This is the game that I think might be a trap game for New England. Because New England's riding high on themselves, thinking they're one of the best teams in the NFL. But they've had the easiest schedule so far this season. They've only had to play the Bills as a hard team. So I think they're gonna get upset here. I think the Ravens are trying to make that push for the playoffs. New England's pretty much already in. As long as they don't lose all 3 of their next games, they're pretty much guaranteed in. So I'm going to go with the Ravens to win this, and then the Patriots will probably win their next 2, cementing their playoff berth. And then the final game, Monday night game, we got the 49ers going to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. After the way the Colts played against Seattle last week, I think they're just good enough with Rivers, old man Rivers at the helm to manage the game to beat the 49ers. And with that, that concludes my week. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, comment, tell me where you disagree, tell me where you agree. Just shoot the shit, whatever. All right. I hope you enjoy your football Sunday. And for the rest of the season, go Hawks.